Hello and welcome to Beast DFS Tutorials. Today I'll be going over the NBA Beast Junior file. Just kind of go over the basics. So when you do look at the file, you kind of have an idea of how to navigate through the Beast Junior when you're doing your analysis. Right now I am on the Beast Junior. I am on the Beast DFS website through my iPad. In order to view the Beast Junior file through your iPad, I would highly recommend that you download the free XL app in the App Store to view the Beast Junior file. So let's go ahead and get started. The Beast Junior is located in the free daily analysis. So let's go ahead and click there while that loads up. As you can see here, these are the analysis tools that we have for Sunday, March 22nd, 2015. So let's go ahead and click on the Beast Junior file. Now, while that uploads here or downloads, it's going to ask you if you want to open an Excel. Okay, so this is what the file looks like when you're not using the Excel app. So go ahead, in order to use the Excel app, just tap on the screen and you want to open an Excel. This will open up the Excel app. You will get a couple of things like this that pops up. Just hit OK to get rid of it. So right now, this is what it looks like, the Beast Junior. To make it a little bit more appealing to the eyes, we can fix a couple things to format it. So let's go ahead, get rid of that. Go to View up on your toolbar next to Review, and we can get rid of the formula bar and the headings. To make it minimize, just go ahead and pinch like you would on a photo. And then now we are ready to get started. So this is the Beast Junior for March 22nd, 2015. And what I'm going to do is just go over some of the columns. So when you look at the file, you'll know what these columns represent. I'm going to try to do this as quickly as possible. So let's go ahead and get through this here. First column is the player. Next column is kind of an injury report where it shows you if the player is injured or did not play, what have you. Next column is your position. Then you have the matchup for the night. If you scroll further to the left, you will notice you have the Vegas odds here. You have the over-under and the spread. If it's highlighted in blue and bold, that means that they were one of the top over-under games and spread games. Next to that is your DVP ranking. If you don't know what that is, please refer to the FAQ on my page. Here you will have your 10-day average and your 2014 average. You can see here what pops out to me right away is that John Wall is playing against Sacramento, who is ranked 29th in the last 10 days and 30th in the season. That's very good. I might consider him playing in my lineup tonight. Historical averages is what that player has scored when playing their opponent. So last season, prior season, John Wall on average scored 26 fantasy points when playing against Sacramento. This season, John Wall has on average scored 50 points. That's a good sign. Then you have the average of the two here, which is 38.2. All right, so let's go ahead and move along. Next on the Beast Junior, you have your floor ceiling analysis. And this just shows you the percent of times that player has scored over 30 fantasy points, over 35 fantasy points, 40 fantasy points. So you can see here Russell Westbrook has scored over 35 fantasy points 88.9% of the time this season. Okay, these are percentages throughout the season. So you can see that Anthony Davis has scored 32.7% of the times, has scored over 55 fantasy points 32.7% of the times. All right, so next, as you're going through the Beast Junior, is your 10 days. So this shows you how many games that player has played in the last 10 days. You can see LeBron James has played 5. You can see John Wall has played 5. You could also see that John Wall has not scored above 60 fantasy points. Now, we are talking about FanDuel, of course. Now, next to the games played, you have the value bell. This lets you know how many times that player has hit value in the last 10 days. So, in the last 10 days, John Wall has played 5 basketball games and has hit value 3 out of the 5 games in the last 10 days. Next is your field goal attempts average. Here you have the 2014 average and you have the 10-day average. So you can see recently John Wall is shooting more, taking more field goal attempts on average in the last 10 days than he has in the season. Then you have your fantasy points average. You have your 2014 season average, DeAndre Jordan, 35. Last 10 days, he's got 39. Okay, so that's your fantasy points. The points to hit value, which is your PTHV, that's next. That pretty much just gives you an estimate of how many points that player needs to hit value for the night. So you can see that, let's take Anthony Davis, for example. He needs 55 fantasy points to have some kind of value in your lineup tonight. This correlates with the amount, with the player's salary. So higher the salary, the more points that player is going to need to hit value. You can see that Anthony Davis has a price tag of $12,400. With that price tag, he needs about 55 fantasy points to hit value. Russell Westbrook, he's $13,300, most expensive guy of the night. He needs 59 fantasy points to hit value. The percent sign lets you know how many times that particular player has scored more than what he needs to hit value tonight. So you can see Blake Griffin, right? He needs 41 points to hit value. He scored more than that 47% of the time so far this season. You have your value columns here. This lets you know the percent of times in the last 10 days that player has hit value. So when I'm looking through this, I can see that Rudy Gay, in the last 10 days, he's hit value 67% of the time. And that's just, he's played 3 games and he's hit value twice. So Rudy Gay's played 3 games and he's hit value twice. Oops. Right here. 3 games and he's hit value twice. So that just gives you a percentage. Next column, the 2014, is your throughout the season how many times that player has hit value. Now we got some players here. Whiteside has hit value 56% of the time. But he was also his price tag was very low once he started getting once he was getting on his hot streak. But we could look at someone maybe like Ricky Rubio, 55% of the times he's been hitting value so far this season. Anthony Davis, 47% of the time he's been hitting value. So next to that is your 10-day cost per point. Cost per point is just pretty much what the player's salary is divided by the fantasy points. So anything below 225 is very good. So you can see here that DeMarcus Cousins' 10-day average cost per point is $204. Salary, this shows you how much the players cost. Now, when you first get the Beast Junior, it is sorted by salary from highest to lowest. So you can see here that Russell Westbrook is your most expensive guy, then Anthony Davis. Next column is your 2014 average. So you can see that Westbrook is averaging about $11,000. So right now you're going to be paying a premium for him. He is $2,224 above his average salary. You can see that guys like Kevin Love, his salary has dropped significantly. As you scroll through here, you can see Rondo as well. His salary has dropped. His average was $7,500, now down to $5,900, which means that he only needs 26 fantasy points to hit value tonight, and he has scored more than 26 fantasy points 51% of the time. Now, take into consideration he was traded from Boston to Dallas, which I think ever since that has happened has hurt his numbers. So let's go ahead and move on. We're almost done here. Then you have your usage rate, higher the better, 10-day average minutes played, and then you have your beast metrics. You have your cush, your gap, and your risk. Um, I go ahead and further along explain what the beast metrics is on my website, and I will have a separate video of that for you to go kind of more into my methodology of what beast metrics are. But for now, just wanted to show you an overview of the Beast Junior, what the headers represent, so you can better navigate through the file when you're doing your analysis. Please stay tuned for more tutorial videos on beastdfs.com. Thank you.